Cash machine idea number 1, the digital storefront, or you.com. Now, the business model for this is going to be online sales, e-commerce, or essentially any kind of distribution that you can do online. The cost to start for most websites is anywhere between $0 to $100, depending on the platform or hosting that you use. The tools that you would need would be a computer, a laptop, and or a website. You could also do this on your phone. And the revenue models are ad revenue, sponsorship, speaking, product service sales, business integrations, and a lot of different things. You can essentially use a website to promote anything and everything. Websites are the new retail storefronts, except they cost $12 a year to purchase, and the hosting could be free, or you spend like $5 a month or $10 a month on hosting. So extremely cheap compared to actually starting up a retail storefront. Your website is going to serve as a central hub for all of the information gathering or promotional activities that you do for any kind of business or service that you have. You can give away information on the site. You can turn the website into a prospecting and sales generation machine for yourself, or you could just turn it into an actual community. And in a lot of cases, the website itself ends up being the business. So think about Facebook.com. It's really not anything other than a community, but the .com itself was purchased for $12 or $10, whatever it was when they purchased it, but now it's literally $1 trillion, well, maybe not $1 trillion, but it's in the hundreds of billions of dollars is the valuation of Facebook.com. So when you think about it, it literally was purchased for $10 to $12 a month, and whatever the cost of the hosting was initially, now they definitely pay way more for hosting because they have so many people that visit that website. But that's essentially it, right? The .com turned into the business. Other examples would be Google.com, Dropbox.com, YouTube.com. It's the website itself that actually turned into the business. And it's really easiest to show you exactly what the value of this type of a business model is by just giving you a comparison of what it would look like against a brick and mortar type of a business. So if you just look at this little graphic on the screen right now, you can see there's just a difference in cost between starting a traditional retail brick and mortar business versus starting an online digital.com, you.com type of a business. In both examples, you would still need to spend a decent amount of time, energy, and money promoting the business. So when you factor in what it costs to maintain a retail storefront versus a .com, it's not even comparable, right? So if we're still going to spend the same amount of time, energy, and money promoting it, then maybe it would be best for most people, if not everybody, to leverage a .com as their main source of marketing, distribution, lead generation, prospecting, sales, things like that. And just like Facebook.com or YouTube.com or any of these giant conglomerates that came from the website itself, it's literally the most valuable piece of digital real estate that you can purchase because it's $10 a year, $12 a year, and now you own this piece of digital real estate and you can do essentially anything with it. And you can develop it. Every page that you add to your website is kind of like adding a wall to a house. And the more pages you add, the bigger it gets. And a really good example of this is Wreck-It Ralph. I think it's the second one where they actually go into the internet and they see the building, the building for Google and all these different things inside the internet. And it's like this giant skyscraper of a thing. That's kind of how I envision this whole thing. So the more pages you add to your website, the more posts that you add to your website, so long as it's valuable content and it's not just regurgitated information that you got from the internet or you had an AI write for you, as long as it's genuine valuable content that you put in there, you can increase the value and the valuation of the .com, and it ends up being a business just by itself. But if you don't do that, then you can leverage it for marketing and promotion, and it's probably the cheapest and more powerful versions of marketing promotion that any business can use for themselves. Now, there are a lot more nuances to this, and there are a lot more finer points into this, and I cover all of that inside my book, Cash Machines, which you can get for free on my website, and just go run with it. But just to give you a little bit more idea of what you're going to learn in the book, here's a couple of bullet points. So you're going to learn how Amazon used this exact concept to launch a chain of successful physical stores called Amazon Stores. You're going to learn about the technologies that replaced old school business mechanisms and how you can actually leverage them for yourself and for your business. You're going to learn how to have a .com that becomes the business itself if you wanted to do that and doesn't require anything else. And there's just so much more that's covered just in the chapter for you.com or the digital storefront. And this chapter is going to carry over to everything else that we're going to talk about in the Cash Machine series. So tune in, make sure you actually follow and subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.